Hello everyone. I continue experimenting with natural selection in simulation. Unlike the real world, in this simulation, the only rules are those I made. But maybe some of its patterns can be applied to our reality. In the current simulation, living organisms constantly cause changes to the environment, preventing the world from reaching any form of stability. But today we will see a simulation where living organisms found a way to survive. When creating a world, I can roughly say what kind of organisms will inhabit it. In general, at least. Let's classify the most common types of organisms. The most simple one, a linear organism, can move only in a straight line. It has a sprout on the front and energy-collecting cells on the sides. Such organisms rarely have green cells, so their primary activity is collecting energy and organic matter from the soil. I call this type of organism the nomads, because of their ability to move on the field. Actually, movement here is just an illusion. When the organism moves, it just grows new cells on the front and at the same time loses cells on the back. But movement alone is not enough for survival. Organisms should have a way to reproduce. Those organisms mostly reproduce by dividing in collision with obstacles. The next type is called superorganism. It has almost immortal green cells in its core. It also has some amount of red and blue cells, but these cells die after collecting all energy and organic matter from the soil. This organism has a large amount of energy-collecting cells per each sprout, which allow it to consume large amounts of energy and survive in areas with low concentrations of organic matter. Cells-to-sprout energy transfer creates large energy conduits inside the organism. When an organism dies, these conduits become large traces of excess energy. Superorganisms are vital for soil saturation. This is a subtype of superorganism, which is most prominent at an early stage of simulation, because of its inability to pass through labyrinths. It has a very straightforward algorithm. Each of its branches creates new branches in preset direction, then a new branch creates another branch, and so on. The final shape looks like a rectangular spiral. Organisms without green cells form wave-like shapes. Those are capable of consuming energy and organic matter quite efficiently. Wave-shaped organisms got the name wave organisms. Another type with a lot of subtypes is relatively small stationary organisms. Now we observe pretty aggressive organisms, which reproduce by spewing their seeds. The main source of their energy is sunlight, so they prefer to live on soil with a high concentration of organic matter. Non-aggressive organisms start to create colonies. That's why I call them the colonists. Because the colonists' generations change each other very fast, they can saturate the soil with excess energy and organic matter in a short amount of time. Moreover, these organisms have a high mutation rate, which results in specialized organisms. The first group produces excesses, the second consumes it. They form a closed system. In my simulation, a sprout or seed can hold only a predetermined amount of energy. If energy excess threshold, the cell separates, and its zero gene becomes active. This is the most common way of reproduction among this type of organisms. Sprout collects energy, and after it exceeds the maximum, separates and becomes a new organism. Sometimes this happens even to superorganisms if a sprout accumulates energy faster than forming a branch. And the last type is unicellular organisms. Unicellular sprouts can move, collect energy from the soil, and consume other cells. Such organisms are pretty rare. During the creation of simulation, I can roughly say what types of organisms will inhabit it at the start. But how evolution will go from there is unpredictable. So in today's video, we will see a typical way of the world's evolution. Let's start our simulation. In a short amount of time, the world was populated with descendants of just a few cells, so now we can distinguish clans among them. In this project, clan means descendants of one of the original cells. The world is currently dominated by Clan 1. This clan is painted in green. Initially, this clan was a superorganism, which allowed them to settle in all parts of the world. But now they mutated into the colonists or lost all green cells and started to collect energy and organic matter from the soil. Here we can see a failed attempt to regain green cells. It's not enough to just mutate, the organism also has to leave offspring. Currently, the world is covered by excess energy and organic matter, and there's almost no place for organisms. While Clan 1 is dominant, there are also other organisms, which remain unlabeled for now. These unlabeled organisms are gonna dominate the world in the future. This is how things work. It's hard to guess who will dominate the world in the end. Here's another failed attempt to form a superorganism. Now we can see a diversity of types. The right corner is populated by organisms with green cells. The soil there is rich with organic matter, which allows organisms with small amounts of green cells to survive. There are also a lot of colonies, which recycle energy into organic matter and vice versa. Most of them consume energy and create excess organic matter, but there are also colonies occupied with the opposite process. This can't go forever, as resources are limited. Now, in another part of the world, we can see the birth of a superorganism. It was created by an unlabeled cell. I turned on energy observing mode, so we could see how energy is distributed inside colonies and superorganism. In colonies, only sprouts are highlighted, as their only purpose is to accumulate energy. In superorganism, energy is gathered in conduits and flows to sprouts, which momentarily use it to produce new cells. If the organism dies, these conduits will become traces of excess energy. Let's see who were the ancestors of our unlabeled organisms. Turns out it is just two origin cells. I painted them with yellow and blue. Now they are Clan 2 and Clan 3. They will purge all other cells and dominate the world. Clan 2 started to lean into specialization. Its organisms are divided into superorganisms and colonists. The world is populated by a lot of various organisms, but for now, let's observe the colonists of Clan 2. The colony can withstand attacks of superorganisms and even the nomads. The colony slowly grows and accumulates excess organic matter. Such colonies formed in other corners of the field. The world will be in this state for a long time. The simulation became cyclic. First, the entire world is occupied by superorganisms. When they die, the remnants become energy in organic matter, which in turn gets consumed by the nomads. Nomads quickly reproduce and clean the world. Then the world enters the stage where its resources are depleted. But why in the beginning growth is so slow? When a superorganism is small, each sprout has just a few green cells. If a superorganism experiences linear growth 2 times, its perimeter, an amount of sprouts, increases 2 times. But at the same time, its total area increases 4 times, which means the amount of green cells also increases 4 times. When an organism grows, the number of green cells increases faster than the number of sprouts. This is the cause of uneven growth, slow in the beginning, and fast in the end. The main condition is for the nomads to survive until then. The measured, cyclical course of life was slightly disrupted, and suddenly a wall of excess organic matter began to form. This caused an eruption of a vast amount of new species. But the wall was destroyed as fast as it was formed, leaving in the history of this world a small eruption of diversity. Here we can see a lot of small, almost non-active superorganisms, which can't grow big enough in this environment. Let's return to the colonists of Clan 2. As the colony grows, organisms capable of consuming excess organic matter start to appear at its borders. Which means the colony has achieved the next step of its evolution. Part of its organisms create excess organic matter, while the other part consumes it. We can talk of labor division in this colony. The world once again enters the stage where its resources are depleted. By this moment, only Clan 2 has survived. This means that all current inhabitants of this world are descendants of just one origin cell. The organic matter of the colonies attracts other organisms. The nomads, if they can breach inside the colony, will gladly consume the excess too. We can see this in these 2 colonies. our colony began to crumble into smaller colonies. Even superorganism was able to find a place between them. In most cases, the growth rate of such colonies is pretty low. But here we can see a colony that occupied new space pretty fast. Despite all my efforts to prevent the world from reaching stability, life has found a way to survive, even if in cyclic form. The only potential problem is the small amount of nomads at the start of each cycle. After some amount of cycles, there will be no nomads. The smaller the world, the higher the chance for this to happen. And the world in the simulation is pretty small. Have you heard of the drunkard's walk problem? With each turn, the drunkard makes a step in left or right with even chance. Despite how far he was from the cliff at the beginning, at one moment he would inevitably fall off the cliff. If the nomads went extinct, superorganisms would cover the entire world in labyrinths and then die because there would be no free space for them to grow. But in this case, colonies will start to dominate the world. Such things have happened in my simulations. Maybe such a world has some interesting processes too, but it is hard to tell by just looking at it. This simulation is pretty standard for the rules I have set. Most worlds have a period of superorganisms domination. These organisms consume sunlight and produce energy and organic matter. The nomads consume energy in organic matter, thereby maintaining the balance. But there are other possible ways, like a world entirely occupied by the nomads. Maybe we will see such a world next time. In the drunkard's walk problem, the drunkard state is immutable. But in reality, it is possible for him at any moment to sober up and make a conscious choice of direction. And this choice will determine whether he falls off the cliff or not. Everything will remain the same, or a complete restructuring of the biosphere will occur with the search for a new stable state. That's all for today's video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Your activity motivates me to continue my experiments. Special thanks to all my patrons on Patreon. Till the next time.